Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yes, Projay, we can sing a bhajan, which you were suggesting earlier. So should we connect
Yeah.
to them?
So I'll sing Paramakaruna Paudu Jana. And maybe you think you can share the lyrics on the screen?
Sure, Prabhu. Yeah, keep it up 1
Actually, I found
second.
a keyboard here, so
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
play from here and sing.
So hope you can see my screen now, right? Like,
Yeah. Parama Karuna Paho Dui Jana Nitai Gora Chandra Parama Karuna Paho Dui Jana Nitai Gora Chandra Sabha Avatara Sara Shiromani Kevala Nanda Kanda Sabha Avatara Sara Shiromani Kevala Nanda Kanda Bajo Bajo Bhai Chaitanya Nitai Sudrida Vishvasha Kori Bajo Bajo Bhai Chaitanya Nitai Sudrida Vishvasha Kori Vishaya Chadia Serase Majia Muke Bolo Hare Hare Vishaya Chadia Seraje Madia Muke Bolo Hare Hare Deko Horeba Tribhuvane Nai Emone doyala data deko horeba tribhuvane na emona doyala data Pashu paki jure pashana vidare suni jara gunagata Pashupaki jure pashana vidare shuni jara gunagata samsare majia rohili poria sepade na ilo asha samsare majia Kili Poria Sepadena Ilo Hasham Apanakarama Bunjaye Samana Koyelo Chana Dasam Apanakarama Bunjaye Samana Kahoyelo Chana Dasam Paramakaruna Pahodui Jana Nitai Gora Chandra Paramakaruna Pahodui Jana Nitai Gorachandram Sabhavatara Sarashiromani Kevala Kandam Sabhavatara Sarashiromani Kevala Kandam Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki.
Yeah,
We can read through the translation as well. It's a
yeah,
very
I'll share my screen back again, bro. Sorry for that.
beautiful button.
Yeah.
So maybe we can take turns and read the four stanzas. So if anyone would like to have a go.
मैं करूं प्रभु जी? Shall I do it, Prabhuji?
Yes.
The two lords, Nitai Gaurachandra, are very merciful. They are the essence of all incarnations. The specific significance of these incarnations is that they introduced a process of chanting and dancing that is simply joyful. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Next.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Second one, Hare
My dear brother, I request that you just worship Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda with firm conviction and faith. If one wants to be Krishna consciousness by this process, one has to give up his engagement in sense gratification. One simply has to chant Hare Krishna, Hare Hare with any motive, without any motive.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Very nicely read. Next.
The last one.
Me. My dear brother, just try and examine this. Within the three worlds, there is no one like Lord Chaitanya or Lord Nityananda. Their merciful qualities are so great that upon hearing them, even birds and beasts cry and stones melt. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Last one.
But Lochan Das regrets that I am entrapped by sense gratification, since I have no attraction for the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. Then Yamaraj, the superintendent of death, is punishing me by not allowing me to be attracted by this movement. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So yeah, we can keep the translation for a little while longer. Also, otherwise I just see
Absolutely.
my big face on the screen. We can keep the bhajan on. So yeah, it's a beautiful bhajan. If you go onto the Sanskrit, so we see Parama Karuna, their supreme Param, uh, supremely or highest, and Karuna, mercy. So Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, these two lords, they're supremely merciful, and they're the essence of all the avatars. Sabha avatar, Sara Shiromani, they're the crest jewel of all avatars, and they are a fountain of a fountainhead of bliss. So this incarnation of Krishna, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda, and the Panchatattva is actually the most merciful incarnation. Because whilst when Krishna appeared, he actually asked Sarvadharman Parityajaya, asked the devotees to surrender unto him. First, he demanded surrender, but Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doesn't put such condition, and he actually distributes the highest um, the highest item of life, the highest success of life, which is love of God, which Krishna actually doesn't bestow so easily. We read in the Chaitanya Charitamrita in the 8th chapter, it says that if someone engages in cultivation of knowledge, like jnana, for a long time, they might get liberation. And if someone engages in pious activity and sacrifice, they might get highest form of enjoyment in heavenly planets. But pure devotion is not given very easily by Krishna. Krishna doesn't award that very easily. And actually, the reason for that is because actually Krishna himself, he becomes conquered by love of Godhead, and so he doesn't want to give himself so easily. So, but when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes, he actually bestows this love of Godhead to everyone and anyone, anywhere, everywhere, without any discrimination, without any condition. And it doesn't consider the offenses of the devotees. Again, in that same chapter, Adilila chapter 8, is this, the glories of the holy names are described. It says, if one chants the holy name but doesn't feel ecstatic symptoms, it means that he's committing some offenses. And then the 10 offenses to the holy name are described. So unless we chant offenselessly, we won't be able to experience that ecstasy. But then he says this doesn't apply for chanting the holy name of Gauranga and Nityananda. Gauranga!
Gauranga!
Nityananda!
Nityananda!
So, so in chanting the holy name of Lord Gora and Lord Nitai, there's no consideration of offenses. And actually, those offenses that we might have committed are all taken away. And so that's why Srila Prabhupada explains the purpose that we should always approach Radha Krishna through Lord Gauranga and Lord Nityananda. So that's why when we chant our japa, first of all, we chant the Panchatattva mantra to free us from any offenses against the holy name. And Prabhupada also explains in the same way when we do archa, when we do worship, one shouldn't start worshiping Radha Krishna directly. We should first engage in worship of Gauranitai, and then later on we can approach worship of Radha Krishna. So getting that mercy of Gauranitai is essential if we want to then approach Radha and Krishna, if we want to understand the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. And actually in that, again, in this chapter 8 of the Adi Lila, Chaitanya Charitamrita, he explains that if one tries to understand the pastimes of Radha and Krishna without trying to understand the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya, then is bound to failure. Is not gonna be able to be successful. Because sure, you can go to Vrindavan, where Krishna performed these pastimes, but the Prabhupada says, what will you be able to see? Because you can go there, but unless you have the spiritual vision to understand and to be able to see Vrindavan, you won't be able to appreciate it for what it is. So it is actually so essential that we approach Krishna through Lord Gauranga, and so in that same mood now, so many devotees now have a Chaitanya Charitamrita set in their homes. I believe Ranjani Prabhu tonight will also be celebrating all the distribution that's happened over the past 2 months. Distribution of Chaitanya Charitamrita set. It's been a great success. Thanks to all of you. So we'll share scores and results for that as well. But now many devotees, I'm sure most of the devotees in this call, in this meeting, have Chaitanya Charitamrita set. If anyone in this call right now doesn't have a Chaitanya Charitamrita set, you have to please raise your digital hand. Let's see if there's anyone without a set. Okay, looks like everyone has got a set. So, Shilpi Mataji, or Shilpi Prabhu, I don't know if it's Mataji or Prabhu.
Mataji.
Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
She put the
Hare
hand.
Krishna, Prabhu. Yes, I don't have Prabhu.
You don't have Chaitanya Charitamrita set?
No,
We'll
Prabhu.
give you one, Mataji. Where do you live?
Ilford?
Ilford.
Yes,
Manish,
Prabhu.
can we give a set to Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. We'll give it definitely.
Lavanya Lokesh Kumar,
Thank you.
Yes, Prabhu.
also?
Also, Prabhu, I also don't. I'm using the Veda base to read, that's it.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
We have some sponsored sets actually from our Bhakti
Not some,
Vriksha.
one sponsored
We
set.
have one sponsored set we can give from our Bhakti Vriksha.
Yes. So we'll make a note, Manish Prabhu, we
I will
can.
make a note. Yeah, I will reach out. So yeah, this for example, Suraj Prabhu will definitely deliver you. Yeah, that is
Yes.
in the pipeline. And I just make a note of Shilpi Mataji and Lavanya Mataji from
Thank you,
Colchester.
Prabhu. Yeah, Colchester.
Yeah,
More
I'll definitely.
more hands are coming up.
Preeti Parmar Mataji schedule. Wow. So I mean, I would request those who don't. I mean, can you please send a text in the message form with your name and number so that I quickly, make a note of
Can
it.
I put it in the chat, Prabhu? Is
Yes,
that okay?
yes,
Yes,
Mataji,
yes.
yes, Mataji. So I would request each of you, like who are.
Yeah.
And also, if you have any preference, like other than English, you just please note down which CC
Yeah,
set you're
English
looking
is fine, Prabhu. Yeah.
for. Okay, all right.
Russian, Chinese, Arabic, the mercy of Lord Chaitanya in any language. That's actually the mercy of Srila Prabhupada who's made this work of
Thank
Chaitanya
you.
Charitamrita available, first of all in English, and then through his disciple is making available in Italian, in French, in so many different languages. So it's real mercy. But anyway, back to the point that now everyone has, or most of us have a Chaitanya Charitamrita set, and so it's also so important that we actually read this Chaitanya Charitamrita, because as I was just explaining, we can only approach Radha and Krishna through Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his pastimes, and so actually by reading the Chaitanya Charitamrita, we can access those pastimes, we can learn about Lord Chaitanya, we can worship him by reading and learning about him, and that will give us the mercy and the qualification to then also be able to understand Krishna's pastimes. So the two Lord Krishna's and Lord Chaitanya's pastimes, they actually go hand in hand, and they're both very important. But again, you could say that actually Lord Chaitanya is actually more merciful than Krishna. And I was reading just earlier this from Chaitanya Bhagavat, which is another biography of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, and it was explaining there how in the Srimad Bhagavatam you hear about how Ajamil was delivered by chanting the holy name of Krishna, and that was great mercy. As soon as he chanted the holy name of Krishna, at the point of that, I believe four Vishnu Dutas came and saved him from the hands of Yamaraj. But when we read the pastime of Jagai Madai, after they've been delivered by Lord Nityananda, Lord Chaitanya, they start to offer prayers to the Lord, to Lord Gauranga, and and they say actually by delivering us, you actually have proved the fact that you're the most merciful incarnation, because we're actually the most fallen, and we don't have any qualification, and yet you have delivered us. And so we're all in one way or another, there's a society of Jagai Madais, right? Because everyone is engaging in so many sinful activities. Actually, these four main sinful activities have become the norm in this society that we live in. So it is really a society of Jagais and Madais, and so unless we have the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we won't be able to preach. So yeah, it's very important to enter into those pastimes, and so I'm very happy that all of us have got this Chaitanya Charitamrita set in their homes now, and that we're ready to read it and to enter into it. So Ranjan Nimai Prabhu, what's this
Yes,
schedule for?
Prabhu.
What would you like me to
Yeah. So,
do?
Prabhu, thank you so much,
Or
first of all, joining us today and making this, Be Gardener campaign and the Gauranga Marathon success. And thank you so much for your guidance, motivation, engaging all us, East London community in the service of Mahaprabhu. So we are very grateful for your time, and all of us have enjoyed this whole marathon. So basically, I was thinking, Prabhu, if you and yeah, parallelly, what is this Italian? Okay, sorry, some pop-up has come. Okay. Uh, so yeah, as well as inviting so many beautiful guest speaker, those who have, our, couple of weeks is like, marathon or like Gauranga consciousness, so many guest as speaker has joined, and we have learned a lot of, book distribution stories and techniques from them. So Prabhu, the agenda which I was thinking for today, and yeah, thank you so much devotees for joining. I can see many devotees on video today, Manish Prabhu and Pari Mataji, and we have London Vedic College as well, Prachur Prabhu with us. uh,
represents.
so Prabhuji, I was thinking that if you can just explain like how this plan came for marathon. I know it's a Be a Gardener campaign worldwide is happening. So how the temple has adopted that mode, and how was the planning behind, and how the target set was happened within the temple, and how you engaged us, and parallelly some of the devotees who have taken the CC set, what strategy they can follow so that they can start reading the Chaitanya Charitamrita book, which they have taken now, and some Sankirtan stories if you can share too from this entire marathon which has happened, and if possible if you can share the score from the temple, and yeah, you can then temple score and overall score, and then the score from the ELBB side, if you can help. And then we can have some couple of announcement. And we have Chaitanya Mali Award winner from East London community on individual contributor, and then Dham label and BB label. So these three we are giving the Chaitanya Mali Award for those three groups and devotees. And then at the end of the session, we can hear some realization from the devotees and the leaders on individual level, and the BB level and the Dham level. So that's what I was thinking, bro. Is that okay, bro? If you can just cover this, I know.
Just a couple of things. So until what time are we supposed to go?
Maybe like
9 o'clock,
9 o'clock,
right?
9:05, yeah, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, so you mentioned about how this campaign came to be. So this Be a Gardener campaign is a Bhaktivedanta Book Trust campaign. So it doesn't just happen in London, but it actually happens worldwide. It's organized by the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust, which is the book trust that was set up by Prabhupada for printing his books and promoting this literature. And so Be a Gardener campaign focuses on distribution of Chaitanya Charitamrita sets. And what's beautiful is that something we realized through this campaign is that it's actually the power of setting goals of or you can say sankalpa. Sometimes we call it sankalpa. When we actually set goals, it's not so much about the number itself, because you can choose any number. You could say, okay, I'm gonna do 50 sets, I'm gonna do 80 sets. At the end of the day, it's just a number and it's relative. You could always do more, you could always do less. But the power of setting goal is that is what the goal makes of you. So the fact that you do have a goal, it means that then you have something to strive for, something to pray for. And when we do set goals, then Lord Krishna, Lord Chaitanya can actually empower us to try and achieve that goal. Whereas if we never set a goal to start with because we feel like, oh, I can't do it, or how will I do it, then you're missing out on being empowered. So it's actually very important that we set goals in our devotional life, um, to try and please Krishna, and then Krishna can help us, because Dadami Buddhi Yoga Tam, Krishna gives the intelligence by which we can come closer to him, and by which we can please him. So when we set the goal, so the goal originally for this campaign was to distribute 108 Chaitanya Charitamrita sets. I have to admit, Anj Prabhu was, I don't know if he's here in this, I don't think he's here in the call. He's in India at the moment, so it's different time zones, but he pushed for this goal. I was thinking it was too much, actually, too big of a goal. But he said, no, 108 is such an auspicious number. We got to do it. I was like, all right. And I was thinking, because actually it wasn't supposed to go to India. So I thought, okay, Ansh is here. He will, do all the sets in one day on the street or something, because he's completely empowered. But then actually plans changed, things came up, and he had to go to India. So suddenly he set the goal, and then it was gone. He's like, okay, now you you do it. So I found myself with this goal. Um, but actually, yeah, it was very empowering, and it forced all the devotees to actually come together and just try harder and pray harder. And so we had devotees from all different sides. We had the brahmacharis living in the temple. We had Pari Mataji. Actually, I can see she's in the call, and she should be the one sharing some stories, because I think she done like most of the sets anyway, so she will have many stories to share. But yeah, her and Lolakshi Mataji were distributing lots of sets inside the temple, and we had our own dear most Bhakti Abdullah, also distributing so many sets on the streets. Almost every day he was doing a set. And then all the different Bhakti Vriksha groups, headed and managed by our dear most Manish Prabhu. They also did so many sets in also different local languages as well. So yeah, these kind of goals really bring everyone together, and so surprisingly we ended up, of course, Mother Sharda also, she was away in India, but then since she's come back, she's been back for maybe a week, a little more than 1 week. And since she's back, she's been doing like 2 or 3 CC sets every day without fail. So that's also quite amazing. But yeah, the campaign ran for 2 weeks, and we set a goal of 108 CC sets, and we're happy to announce that we smashed the goal, and we distributed 141 Chaitanya Charitamrita sets. Haribo! Everyone, unmute yourself. Haribo! 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 So of course it was a great achievement. I don't think it has been done before at our temple. So yeah, congratulations to all of you for this great achievement. And I think so this mood of setting goals, I think can also be very important in our reading the Chaitanya Charitamrita, or any of Prabhupada's books for that matter. But personally what helps me to get my reading done. Because sometimes we might, I'm a brahmachari, so I live in the temple. We might think, oh, must be so easy to read in there, but actually, actually because we have so many services throughout the day, and it's just like back to back, going out on morning program, and then services around the ashram, and then going out on books, and then different preaching engagements. Plus, you're living, in Soho, the art of London, where everything is so fast paced and so easy to get distracted. So even for brahmacharis, it can be a big challenge to read. And I can't imagine also for grihastas who have like full-time jobs and have families and so many commitments and Bhakti Vriksha groups to run. So there are many challenges there. But it's normal, whenever we try to do service, there are gonna be challenges. Maya is gonna try and challenge, the material energy is gonna resist. But if we set goals for ourselves, then that can give us a focus. It can give us something to focus on, that can keep us on track. And so what I do for myself, and also all the devotees in Darshan do, is that we set reading goals for ourselves of how long we want to read for. It can be done in terms of number of pages that you want to do every day, or it can be done in terms of effort. So how many hours or how many minutes you want to do every day. And even if it's goal can be small, it just needs to be something more than zero. My spiritual master says must be something more than zero and no less than one. So basically saying that even if it's one, even if it's a small, 10 minutes, I want to read 10 minutes every day, but you just make it a goal and you stick with it, and you'll be surprised to see the results. Because just like a drop of water, that every day, it keeps dropping on a rock, and you might think it doesn't do anything, but after it keeps going months after months, years after years, it can make a hole through a rock. And so setting daily goals for our reading, that can be very helpful, and it can be very transformational for our devotional life, because actually this we're devotees, we're trying to be devotees, bhaktas. And so what do bhaktas do? They engage in bhakti, in devotional service for the pleasure of Bhagavan, of Krishna. And actually devotional service, it begins from hearing, from Shravanam. And so if we don't hear, then it'll be very hard to continue in this devotional practice. Because by hearing, well, first of all, we hear about devotional service itself, so we get instructions on how to perform the devotional service. And through hearing, we also get purified. Lower propensities in the heart, the modes of passion, ignorance are removed, and one becomes established in goodness. This says in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So this daily practice of hearing is like water, that can nourish our creeper of devotional service. So yeah, that's one little tip for our reading, to set a daily goal, be that 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 60 minutes, and just stick to it. Also, at the temple, Deodata Prabhu recently started a morning group where a chapter of Bhagavad Gita is read every day. It's called chapter a day. It happens every morning at 6:30 until 7 o'clock. They read one chapter of Bhagavad Gita every day, a different chapter. They read through the Sanskrit and then through the translations, and then they discuss like one or two purports. So that's also a very good way to get at least like 30 minutes of hearing of Shravanam done every day. And because it's done in a group setting, excuse me, is much easier to do as well. So that's also there for those who are interested. If you want to find out more, you can ask in Team 508, or you can send me a message. So yeah, like that. Would Pari Mataji, would you like to share a story from distribution of CC sets?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you so much for your causeless praise. There is no reason for that, but I mean, it's actually all of you have inspired me so much. All the devotees and their prayers and their blessings. That was the main thing that really inspired me. But there were a lot of instances where I felt that actually I wasn't I wasn't the one doing it. I wasn't in control at all. And one of them was when one of the main stories that I remember, which I've mentioned to others a lot, but I can't seem to get over it in a sense, was when I was just kind of, it was a very random day and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the temple today. Let me try for let me just try it to distribute, what's gonna happen. I mean, what's the worst that's gonna happen, basically. And so I went and I made it wasn't a very great day for me. I was already struggling a little bit. But I just went in the temple and I made an announcement, and there was about 10 people. And I made the announcement of the campaign and the anyone can take a set. And no one really responded. I was like, okay. Anyway, I tried. That's what matters. I tried. So I went back up and I did something, and I came back down, and then suddenly there was just like 50 people in the temple room out of nowhere. Sorry, my mom's here now. Sorry, guys. Haribo. Haribo. Jai. Monica Mataji ki Jai. Oh, no, no, no. So suddenly I came down and there was like 50 people in the temple room. And I was like, okay, I tried just now. I think might as well I try again because there's more amount of people, so maybe a better chance to get someone to take a set. So I go in the temple room again and I do the announcement, and everyone's listening, but from my peripheral vision I can just see this Prabhu like in the corner, and he was really smiling when I was making the announcement, and I was like, okay, at least he's smiling, what to do, at least I made someone smile. But again, there was no response, just like plain nothing. So then I was like, okay, now I just have to go. And Mother Sharda wasn't there, so I kind of just took Mateo Prabhu's advice, and I was distributing downstairs outside the temple, a very empowered place. So I got down all the books, all the other small books, and then I went back to the temple room, but I had my shoes on. And coincidentally, well, it wasn't obviously coincidental, but it was the same Prabhu that was smiling at me. And I asked him if he could just bring the set from Prabhupada's Vyasa to me so I can just take it down because I had my shoes on. And I basically couldn't be bothered to take them off and go in the temple room. So I just asked him to bring it. And he came outside and he was really smiling, like he carried the set and he smiled and he gave it to me. And I said, Prabhu, do you have a set? And he said, no, Mataji. And I was like, okay, would you like to sponsor one? It can be any amount, actually. And he said, yeah, actually, you know what? I'll sponsor one. And I was like, oh, that's amazing. Okay, that's amazing. Could you just help me, help me take this down? So he was putting his shoes on. He had the set in his hand, and I just ran downstairs and set it up and got the Zetal app up. And then I was like, okay, so Prabhu, you're aware that a set is like approximately 100 pounds, right? He was like, yeah, that's fine. So we got talking, and I was just asking about himself, and because I didn't want to make it seem like I was just trying to like extract the money from him, like I wanted to actually make a connection with him because he was the only person that responded to me that day. So I tried, and I explained to him what the set was about, just a little bit of small talk. And then I brought the Zeta app up and I typed in 100, and I put it in front of him, and he took his card out, and he was like, actually, Mataji, can I do 3 sets? And I was like, Prabhu, what do you mean 3 sets? He was like, yeah, like, can I sponsor 3 sets? And I was like, that's 300 pounds, right? And he was like, yeah, I know. I know. I can do maths. And I was like, okay, well, if you want to. And I was just completely in shock. I didn't realize. And he ended up giving like 300 pounds and like, 3 sets of sponsored. And I was like, this is amazing. And then the next person that comes after, just the next person, the complete next person that stops after him, Hemant, he took a set and then he donated again. So that day, me and Lolakshi ended up doing about 4 Chaitanya Charitamrita sets in one day. And it was just so completely ecstatic. I still don't feel like I was really there, and I just can't believe like it happened. And it was amazing. It was amazing, Prabhu. Yeah, there was just so many days like that where it was either, Prabhupada and Mahaprabhu, and I just felt like I was it's just like a deja vu. My vision was completely cloudy, like everything, I wasn't even there. Basically, I was just being used as an instrument to kind of announce it. So many times that happened, but the most recent time also happened. It was just around Gaur Purnima. We were actually helping Vamsivat Prabhu with the decorations, and the whole day was really, really busy. But again, we had like a lunchtime break or something, so I really wasn't feeling it. I was so fatigued, and Lolakshi was like, like, let's try, like, do party is just finished, let's go in the temple room and let's just see what we can do. So we went inside again, and I was really reluctant. I was like, I haven't been able to do sets for like 2 weeks now. I don't know what's gonna change now. But anyway, yeah, let's go, let's see. And we ended up doing the announcement. I was just holding the set like lazily in my hand, and then, two people, they ended up taking a set that day as well. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. I mean, Mahaprabhu really doesn't wait for you to um he doesn't wait for you to act like you're doing it. Whoever the sets want to go to, they just go. It just happens. You really, like, you're not in control. And I think that's the biggest thing I've learned, because I personally I haven't had a connection with the Chaitanya Charitamrita set except from when the campaign started. So that's when, and then, the Mahaprabhu's Mondays things, and then we started, okay, kind of like listening about Mahaprabhu and listening about the glories of the Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita. And then I was like, okay, this would be nice. And I was aware I had the enthusiasm, but I knew nothing. I basically haven't even read the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So to be able to do all of this, it was I was like completely astonished. I could tell, like, it really wasn't me. Really wasn't me. I didn't deserve that mercy. I just don't know how. I think it was definitely all of you devotees, you really empower.
And I remember one incident when last MSF, Pari was not able to do any CC sets in the day, and she was very, very upset. And when we reached home, she was actually about to cry that I could not do today any set, and Ayushman did one.
I think I should mute it now.
And she was really upset that I could not do anything, and she was very down. And then in the evening we have to go to Sri Raj Prabhu's home for their BV, kind of one
It was like a
event they
program.
have. Yeah, one program. And she started with kirtan, and she spoke about some shlokas, and then she started with CC set, sponsorship, and she went to each and every person who came in their house, and she ended up sponsoring 2 CC sets there. And then and she was so happy after that at least my day is successful today. Otherwise, she was very, very upset. I mean, with her studies and with her project, I never seen her upset. But if CC sets were not done, she was really, really very upset. And
Wow, great attachment to Chaitanya
yeah,
Charitamrita, to distribution of Chaitanya Charitamrita sets.
yeah, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so merciful that he could not see her upset, and he ended up doing 2
Actually,
sets.
yeah. Actually, I realized that day, a very important realization that I had, and just as my mom was speaking, also I remembered, was that Mahaprabhu's greatest asset, was his preaching. So it was only after that I did the kirtan and that I spoke. We were actually doing nectar of instruction. Yeah, we were doing Upadesh Amrita. Yogeshwar Prabhu was in India, so he asked me to if I could speak a little bit. Thank you, Yogeshwar Prabhu. He asked me if I could speak a little bit, and it was through that preaching. Because I was completely smashed after that MSF. I was like, everything has been smashed, my pride, my arrogance, any little set that I've done, like, Mahaprabhu's shown me I haven't done anything. And it was only after the kirtan and a little bit of preaching that I was actually preaching to myself. So then I regained that sort of little bit of confidence to go and how Nityananda Prabhu, I was just thinking about him, was when he would go door to door, every person, and kind of beg them to take Gauranga Mahaprabhu's name. I was just kind of imagining that maybe I can follow in his footsteps and go to each person and ask. And actually, every person did give. Every single person in that house, every single person in that program contributed something. And in the end, it was like 2 CC sets. And I was like, oh my God, what is going on? This is amazing.
Even though in our Bhakti Vriksha, people were not, I think, proactive earlier, but now Yogesh Prabhu, he's taking, BV sessions, and being Pari also there, they both inspire, all Bhakti Vriksha members to contribute something, towards CC sets. And I remember one young girl birthday was there on 14th of February, and she went to her mom that Megha Mataji, that on your daughter's birthday, I would say that if you don't have CC set, so we will contribute as a Bhakti Vriksha some part to it, but if you can contribute as in 50% of that. And she agreed. So, and then each Bhakti Vriksha member actually contributed, 11 pounds, 21 pounds, whatever they want. So, and we ended up, doing 2 CC sets.
Just from our Bhakti Vrikshas.
Yeah, it's amazing, how people are getting connected, and, they are having more confidence, and, they want to contribute. Otherwise, it's very hard to convince people to contribute towards books which they don't even like, or they don't even
read,
read or so.
Anyway, the reciprocation.
The glorious pastimes of the book distributors. But that's the thing. These pastimes we read and hear about the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but this Chaitanya Leela, these pastimes are actually still going on when we go out and try to distribute the books and connect people to Krishna. That's Lord Chaitanya's movement. That's the Sankirtan movement. ISKCON is part of that Chaitanya tree, and so we're actually living those leelas by going out and chanting the holy name, getting people to chant the holy name, getting people to buy books and read the books. So it's nectar. Just hearing about your stories of distributing the books is so nectarian, and I could listen on and on about this story. So yeah, congratulations to Pari Mataji, also Monica Mataji, for all your distribution. And I see that it's 8:52 already. So Ranjani Mai Prabhu, perhaps we can.
Can we ask Yogeshwar
don't-
Yeah.
Prabhu?
So, Prabhu, is it okay if you can announce the score, and then, like,
Yeah, so I don't
is it
have.
okay, Prabhu, if you can
I'll ask
yeah,
Manish Prabhu if you can read this, because I don't have the detail
yeah.
of how many sets were done in East London. So perhaps Manish Prabhu, I only have the overall number. So perhaps Manish Prabhu, you can read out the scores.
Sure, Prabhuji. I think the overall score, what we have done, including the 3 CC sets which we did today. So overall we have done 37 sets from the ELBV, East London Bhakti Vriksha. And the highest which is done by any Bhakti Vriksha is Center Way apartment, is the Mataji is here, Monica Mataji in Pari. They have done 9 CC sets altogether from their Bhakti Vriksha. And the highest CC sets has been done by Mathura Dham out of all the 4 dhams. Jagannath. So Jagannath, we have 4 dhams: Jagannath, Mathura, Dwarka, and Ekchakra. So Mathura Dham has done total 17 CC sets so far.
Haribol, way to go.
That's the overall score from East London Bhakti Vriksha. I hope, Prabhuji, we have included these 30, so 37 is the overall count. Have you included them in 144? Or
Yeah,
it is
everything is included. Yeah.
okay, all right.
Yes. Yeah. Wow, fantastic numbers, fantastic results.
So, I mean, I would like to invite Yogeshwar Prabhu to just, he is a very motivational for all of us, and, inspirations for all of us in terms of when it comes to book distribution. So please, share your realization, Prabhu, with us.
Hare Krishna, Meteor Prabhu, Hare Krishna to all the devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for giving us the inspiration. I think the Mahaprabhu's Mondays was the greatest inspiration behind the whole thing. As Meteor Prabhu said that probably we might not have done something like this before. Similarly, we haven't done it something like this before as well. So it was first time for us, first time for all of us. But the way you actually inspired us, the way you prayed for us, the way you actually encouraged all the devotees here, coming yourself with many Saturdays, and all the brahmacharis also came various occasions in different areas. It was quite inspirational, and all the devotees felt so blessed actually in your association, and the way you were committed actually for this whole movement, the whole goal for the being a gardener. So all glories to your services, all glories to your inspiration, and of course our seniors have also guided us well in that. But in terms of particularly talking about the circle, it was the effort of all the devotees, effort of all the respective Bhakti Vriksha leaders also. We have to appreciate that, and everyone took this type of, this thing on their own as a responsible thing. We didn't push them, we didn't kind of pressurize them, but they just took it very nicely, inspired by all these the Monday sessions. So I just wanted to say thanks to all of them actually, taking it up very nicely, contributed small, big, whatever way they could, and coming to this particular goal. And of course, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, because of whom we all are doing everything. And without Prabhupada's mercy, without Prabhupada's blessings, we are nothing. So it was the driving force or driving factor was Srila Prabhupada's mercy here. We were just being an instrument, and we just did our effort, and the main thing was Prabhupada's mercy. Particularly, I just wanted to share one thing. I mean, Pari has shared so nice. It was so inspirational, and I myself felt so inspired by Pari's, great commitment in that. Um, when we see young persons doing something like this, we also feel very, encouraged by that. If they can do it, the next generation can do it, then maybe we should also try something. So that was really, really nice. So thanks to Pari and, whole family and the whole Bhakti Vrikshas and everyone. Particularly, I was in one of the Bhakti Vriksha, and Pari is quite bold actually. She just says it like straight away. But I'm a little bit shy in that sense, because when it comes to asking Lakshmi, then I feel it like I take it very low and a very simple and a very humble way. So I wasn't too sure. I just said in one of the Bhakti Vrikshas that if anyone would like to, it's all about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and since the Gaur Purnima is coming, and we are trying to, distribute these CC sets so that everyone get a chance of realizing the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And one person actually raised his hand and he started crying. I said, have I said anything wrong here? I mean, why is he crying actually? I got scared. I haven't touched the money aspect yet. I didn't even say how much it cost or anything. I just said, you just want to distribute the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He said, who else can tell more than me? I said, what? He said, a couple of years back, I was in a very terrible condition from a health wise, and I was kind of, basically dying. And then, the doctors have declared that, I'm not going to be surviving. I'm not going to come back to the life. I said, what happened? He said, obviously I had a very severe stroke and the disease and many other things. My organs were collapsing. All I could feel was I could remember Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in my mind. Nobody could see that, but I could actually feel inside because I could not speak. So I can't even tell others that I am actually thinking of Krishna. I'm thinking of Chaitanya, because he was from Bengal actually. So he was thinking of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his mind. He was trying to recite the Mahamantra, but the Mahamantra was not coming out of his mouth because he was not able to speak anything. But all the time he was thinking of Krishna, all the time he was thinking of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the time he was thinking and praying for that, when I'll be able to speak. But he had a great conviction about, this mercy of Krishna and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So slowly, because of that conviction, because of that faith, and of course the mercy of Krishna, he got his voice back. His, like, obviously one side of the body was not functioning. Slowly he got back, and he was able to speak everything actually. I mean, as a normal person, I couldn't even make it out that, he had gone through such a thing actually. And he said, in 2 3 years time, the whole thing changed, and now I'm just a normal person actually. So it's all by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I'm happy to contribute for Chaitanya Charitamrita set. Oh my God. I mean, sometimes we take it for granted, the distribution of Chaitanya Charitamrita set or any particular book of Srila Prabhupada. But when we go out and when we meet these, kind of life-changing scenarios, then we realize the power of, Srila Prabhupada books. Until then, we may just take it for granted and really don't know what the power is. So I just wanted to share something. So those who are book distributors, they are amazing, amazing people. So, all glories to all the book distributors throughout the whole world. What they are doing is phenomenal. What they are doing is changing. I mean, this is the greatest hope for the whole humanity, that one day everyone will become a devotee of Krishna. So thank you so much, Vidya Prabhu. Thank you so much, Manish Prabhu. Thanks to all the devotees, those who have dedicated their life and soul, their, time and energy. So thank you all so much. Shila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you.
Uh,
I think Ranjanima Prabhu, what is like
yeah,
it's
so
over to you now.
Prabhuji, yeah, Matthew Prabhu, if you can just help us, like, what's your future plan in temple, like with respect to book distribution or upcoming events or something like that related to Sankirtana, the book distribution?
Yes. First of all,
All of us.
thank you,
Yeah.
Yogeshwar Gopinath, for the always, whenever you open your mouth, nectar always flows out of it. And always, whatever you say is always very inspiring. So thank you. Thank you for that and for your example and guidance. And yeah, so the Sankirtan, of course, never stops. Nitya Bhagavatam Sevaya. We should always regularly, daily hear Bhagavatam and serve Bhagavatam. And so the book distribution is always going on daily. So we just finished this Gardener campaign successfully, thanks to all of you here in this call and all the devotees in the congregation. And we now officially entered into the next campaign, which is the Bhadra campaign, which starts the day after Gora Purnim. So there's no no break. Because why would we take a break? Because we want to be engaged in devotional service, right? That's the goal of life. So there's no break from devotional service. So it started on the day after Gora Purnim, which I believe is 14th of March, and it will go on until Bhadra Purnim, which is in September. I don't know the exact date, but it will be around the 15th of September. And this campaign will focus on the distribution of the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is another of the main works of Srila Prabhupada, while the Chaitanya Charitamrita is all about the glories and the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates. The Srimad Bhagavatam focuses on the glories of Krishna, and especially the devotees of Krishna. So it's a glorious work. Prabhupada himself, before he ventured to the West, he made sure that he finished his translation of the first volume of Bhagavatam, and he traveled with no money, no contacts, but he brought many sets of Srimad Bhagavatam, of first canto of Bhagavatam, with him from India to New York. So of course Prabhupada had great faith in this work, and so we want to spread and share with others the glories of this work. And so this year, ISKCON London, overall for the whole temple, we have a goal to distribute 300 Srimad Bhagavatam sets. And so this is what we will be focusing on in the next few months. And we'll probably have also kathas going, like we did for Mahaprabhu's Mondays. If the devotees feel like that would be helpful, we can again organize for special speakers and have these kind of talks, and yeah, so that's our plans. And we also have MSFs are still going on, so there will be again another MSF in Soho at the temple on the last I see Pari Mataji raising her hands. Is always on the last Saturday of the month, so it's a great chance to associate with with the Sankirtan devotees and watch them in action, hear their lines, hear how they do it, get some insights and get some inspiration to distribute. So it's definitely not to miss. And so the next Soha MSF will be on the 29th of March, the last Saturday of this month. And I believe there's details already on the 508 group chat. But yeah, so this is our plan. And of course, there's brahmacharis go out every day. And so if devotees want to join during the week or in weekends, come on, distribute with us. We're always most happy to welcome anyone and distribute together, even if you come for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 hour. Everyone is welcome. So like that. Yes? Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki,
Jai.
Harinam Sankirtan ki,
Jai.
Janitai Gaur
Jai.
Bhande.
So,
Hari
Hari
Hari.
Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol. So thank you so much, Matthew Prabhu, joining us. We are missing Her Grace Yamuneshwari Mataji today. If she would have here, like she's a great inspiration for all of us. So she was talking to me. She was so happy. She was missing today's devotee association. So we are very thankful and grateful for Mataji's guidance, help, support, and her inspiration. Without her, her presence and her thoughts and her guidance, it would have not possible for all of us to go ahead, achieve this from East London Bhakti Vriksha side. So thank you, Hargesh Yamneshwari Mataji. So thank you so much, Pro, for joining us today and taking out your time. You're away from London, but still you took out your very, very thankful and grateful. And really, we miss Prue whenever that new speaker or guest speaker would like to invite. We are very happy to host here, Prue, and take the association of like Bhadra campaign or any new speaker, those who are happy to share their realization on book distribution or anything, Prue. So yeah, I would request all the devotees kindly unmute yourself and loudly we can chant one time Hare Krishna Mahamantra for Matthew Prabhu for giving his time and taking us whole Monday Mahaprabhu and he's such an inspiration for all of us. So can we unmute yourself and chant one time loudly? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare Hare,
Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Jai.
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Srila
Hare,
Prabhupada ki.
Hare
Jai.
Rama,
Hare.
Hare
Eh,
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Thank you.
Hare, Hare
Jai
Thank you
Jai.
so much, devotees. You will get a gift shown
Krishna,
physically.
Krishna,
Today, we know it's
Hare
online is
Rama,
there, so you may
Hare
not able to receive.
Rama,
So
Rama
all
Rama,
devotees will
Hare
get
Hare.
Chaitanya Vanmali gift hand to hand from Manish Prabhu soon. So thank you
Hari
so much.
Bol.
Ooh.
Hare Krishna. Have a blissful evening.
Hare
Hari Bol.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai.